Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Thunder Dragon Canine deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely interesting deck that can make some absolutely incredible boards. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can come for our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of the original Thunder Dragon. This card is an amazing 3 of in the build because it is a level 5 monster. You can actually bring it out to your side of the field using the effect of Canine Yugioh. And this card also has the ability you can discard this card to add up to 2 more copies of this card from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to actually activate a Thunder Monster's effect in your hand so you can summon out Colossus. We then play 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark. Thunder Dragon Dark is amazing in the build as well because this card is also a level 5 monster with the ability to quick effect discard this card to add another copy of Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, but you can only activate 1 effect of this card per turn and only once that turn. We then play 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Roar. Thunder Dragon Roar is really good in the deck, but 2 copies is really all you need. With the ability to discard this card to add to your hand 1 of your Thunder Dragon cards that's banished or in the graveyard. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually special summon a Thunder Dragon monster from your deck and defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Hawk. Thunder Dragon Hawk is amazing in this build as one of because it has the effect that you can discard this card to special summon 1 of your Thunder Dragon monsters that's banished or in the graveyard, except another copy of this card. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the grave, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck and then draw the same number of cards, which is a great effect to be able to use just to help us fix our hands just in case we need to. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Duo. Thunder Dragon Duo is a great main deck boss monster that's super easy to summon in the deck with the effect that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 1 light and 1 dark monster from the graveyard, and once returned, if a monster effect is activated in the hand, this card gains 300 attack points until the end of the turn. Also, when this card destroys a monster at battle, you can actually banish a card in the graveyard to add a Thunder monster from your deck to your hand, and also once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can actually target 1 of your banished cards and place it on top or bottom of your deck. We then play 3 copies of Azuna. Azuna is amazing in this build because this card is basically a hand trap with the ability that during the main phase, if your opponent has activated a monster effect in the hand or the graveyard this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card in the hand, and if it's normal or special summon, you can actually send a canine card from your deck to the graveyard, except another copy of Azuna, which we're always sending a copy of Lupus to the graveyard, because Lupus can actually bring itself back to your side of the field if your opponent has activated a monster effect in the hand or the graveyard this turn, and then actually XZ summon, which is actually insane, so we can go in for a copy of Ripper using Lupus and Azuna. We then play 3 copies of Yugioh. Yugioh is why this deck is so crazy. This card is absolutely insane in the deck and such a cool card. With the ability you can reveal this card and 1 other level 5 monster in the hand and then special summon both of them to your side of the field, instantly being able to reveal this card and a copy of a Thunder Dragon or a Thunder Dragon Dark in your hand to bring this card out to your side of the field, plus 1 of those 2 cards, so you can actually go in for a copy of Colossus or go in for an XZ play. This card also has a really cool ability when it's on your side of the field that during the main phase, you can add a non-aqua canine monster from your deck to your hand, so you can actually search out your copy of Lantern, which is also an awesome combo piece in the deck. This card has the ability, if this card's in the hand, you can actually target a level 5 non-pyro canine monster in the graveyard and special summon both it and this card to your side of the field. And also during your main phase, you can add a canine spell or trap from your deck to your hand, grabbing the exact card that you need, like a copy of Force Release or a copy of a Case for Canine, which is amazing to be able to do. This card is so cool to be able to add off your copy of Yugioh because once you either go in for an XZ play and detach a material or go in for a link play, you can actually bring back your copy of Yugioh to your side of the field using this card's effect, so you can keep going in for your plays, which is so cool. This card is amazing in the deck, but you only need a single copy. We then play a single copy of Bestial Magnemite. Bestial Magnemite is great in the deck as a one-of, because this card lets us target a lighter dark monster in either player's graveyard and banish it. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand into quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. And if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect that during the end phase of this turn add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except another copy of this card, which we can actually add a copy of Druid's Worm to help us spot remove cards off the field, or a copy of Baldrake, which is so cool to be able to grab because these cards help our Thunder Dragon cards get banished so we can activate their effects. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's amazing to build to basically just stop the opponent from touching the deck. We then also play 3 copies of Molcharmy Fluros. Molcharmy Fluros is really good in the deck as a 3-of. Basically just help us dig in the deck for the exact cards that we need. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is amazing in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's hand traps. We're going in for all of our plays. We play a single copy of Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is great in this build to basically use with our Thunder Dragon cards to make them get banished. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion. Thunder Dragon Fusion is awesome in the build to help us summon another copy of Titan, and it's a really cool one-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Canine Force Release. Canine Force Release is awesome, basically help us rank up our copy of Ripper into a copy of Werewolf, which is so cool to be able to do. It's just a really good one-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of A Case for Canine. A Case for Canine is basically tanky for the deck, letting us add a canine monster from our deck to our hand, which is a pretty cool effect. We then also play 3 copies of Chaotic Elements. Chaotic Elements is really good in this deck because this card lets us add a level 5 or higher monster that's a lighter dark, pyro, or aqua monster from our deck or graveyard to our hand. Then, if you have the 3 or more pyro or aqua monsters in the graveyard, destroy a card on the field, which is a crazy powerful ability for this card to be able to do because with A Case for Canine and Chaotic Elements, both at 3 in this deck, you basically have 9 copies of Yugioh in this deck to be able to get to, so you can go full combo. And what's really cool about this deck is you also have 6 really good targets between your 3 copies of the original Thunder Dragon and 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark to instantly bring out a Thunder Dragon to your side of the field, which is absolutely insane, which makes this deck so consistent. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get in to the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is amazing in this deck to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Ripper. Ripper's an amazing one-of in the build that has the effect that you can actually detach material in this card to add a canine card from your deck to your hand, grabbing the exact card that we need. This card is also Walking the Gate, because when your opponent activates a monster effect in the hand or the graveyard, quick effect, you can detach material in this card to negate the activation, which is a pretty cool effect to instantly negate the effect of a card that your opponent is activating in the hand or the grave. We play a single copy of Werewolf. Werewolf is great in the deck to basically help you go in for game, because when this card has a material and it can attack a number of times during the battle phase up to the number of materials attached to it, giving you multiple attacks on a 3,300 attack point monster, which is so cool to be able to do. With my single copy of Valen, Valen is basically a walking Book of Moon and really cool in the deck as a one-of. With my single copy of Princess, Princess is pretty cool in the deck as well, because this card lets us detach a material from this card to target a level 5 monster in either player's graveyard and special summon it to either field, helping us basically use this card as a monster reborn, and it's an awesome combo piece in the deck. We then play a single copy of Nash Knight. Nash Knight is great in this deck to play our Chaos Number engine. This card has a great effect that you can basically detach material in this card, because during the main phase quick effect, you can detach 2 materials in this card to attach a number XZ monster from your X deck to this card as a material. It has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, then attach one other face-up monster on the field to this card as a material. Which card we're always attaching to this card is a copy of number 104, Masquerade, which this card is awesome to be able to actually attach so we can step into its chaos version. And then I see a copy of CXZ Nash Knight. This card is great to basically overlay on top of our copy of Nash Knight so we can actually make its chaos version of number 104, number C104, Umbrella Horror Masquerade. This card is absolutely crazy in the deck. This card is so broken. But for a more budget option for you guys, if you don't have this card because it has not been reprinted yet, you can play it number 101 and C101 in this build instead for a more budget option. But this card is really cool because it can actually use this card as a walking negate, and it can halve your opponent's life points, which is absolutely crazy. This card is so good in the deck because it has the ability, when this card is special summoned, you can target a spell or trap card on the field and destroy him. And in this card has a copy of number 104 Masquerade as an XZ material. It also gains the ability once returned during either player's turn. When a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can actually detach a material in this card to negate that activation, send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, and half your opponent's life points. This is one of those broken negations ever in the game, and so cool to be able to play in this build. We play a single copy of Zeus. Zeus is great in the deck to be able to play. Basically just use this card as a board wipe. We play a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel's great in the deck as well, because play a lot of level 5 lights and darks in this deck to be able to make this card, and it's so cool to be able to summon out to her side of the field to basically just use this card as a banish, and you don't even have to use a tuner to make it. We then play 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Colossus. Thunder Dragon Colossus is so cool in this deck because it's so easy to summon, and you can summon multiple of it in a turn, which is absolutely crazy. It must either be fusion summon or special summon, which is the way we're usually summoning this card, during a turn that a Thunder monster effect was activated in the hand by tributing a Thunder effect non-fusion monster on the field, in which case you don't have to use polymerization. Also, cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except from drawing them, and in this card would be destroyed by a battle of our card effect. You can actually banish a Thunder monster from the grave instead, which is a broken ability. We might see a copy of Titan. Titan's just a really good option in the deck that we can go into using Thunder Dragon Fusion. Plus it comes out as a 3,200 attack point monster, and it's really cool to be able to summon, because when a Thunder monster effect is activated in the hand, even during the damage step quick effect, you're going to actually destroy a card on the field. And then finally play a single copy of SP. SP is really powerful in the build. Basically just use this card as a double interruption. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is so fun to be able to play. If you guys have not tried out a Thunder Dragon Canine deck before, you should definitely give this build a try, because it's so fun to be able to play, and it's insane how powerful these two engines work together to use the Thunder Dragon cards with Jokul, which is probably the most important card in the entire deck, which is why we play basically 9 copies of it, and it's so cool to be able to play. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.